parents, it's our job to advocate for our children, and for parents of children with special needs, it can be even more important. Being a good advocate is no easy job though, so tell me, Alicia, what is advocacy?
Advocacy is something that we all do for our children. It's the sticking up for them, basically. It's making sure that they have everything that they need. So things like, we make sure that they're fed, that they have a roof over their head, we do the best that we can to make sure that we look after our kids. But it's also things like making sure that they have friends, making sure that they're going to school and learning. All these different little things along the way means we're sticking up for our kids and we're doing what we can to make sure that they get what they need in order to, become fully formed adults and all that sort of stuff. And as they get older, our need to advocate for our children lessens. They become more independent and they're able to
advocate for themselves in a way.
Exactly, and that's part of our job as well, making sure that they are able to advocate for themselves, so teaching them that very important job. However, when it comes to children who have disabilities and delays, quite often parents feel like there is an extra level that needs to be taken in order to make sure that these needs and these basic human rights essentially are provided, and to make sure that their children are getting access to things that, inclusion and equality, basically, to make sure that that is part of the package as well. So of course, that can be a bit extra that needs to happen.
So why is it important then? Because obviously, it's just very, very important that children have someone advocating for them when they've got special needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, there can be a lot of barriers. So things that we, may take for granted, like, for example, my child was able to speak back to me. They learnt from me how to be able to communicate, and they were able to then verbalize what it was that they needed to have. However, if a child is born deaf, the ability to be able to communicate, well, first off to hear things, and then to be able to understand things and then to be able to communicate it back, that's an extra layer of difficulty. Or for example, a child, my children got to the point where they were able to stand and walk and, be able to move around, to pick things up, to feed themselves. However, if a child has delays in those areas, that's another level that parents need to be able to go and ask for help and get the support and the resources that they need in order to be able to teach their child to do so many things that we may take for granted. Things like, just being included in daycare. If a child has a lot of difficulty engaging in activities, or they've got a very one-track mind about things that interest them, and so they're not able to then take in all these other learning areas. Parents then need to be able to advocate at, these educational facilities and say, all right, well, this is what my child needs in order to be able to be learning all those other things that the children are learning as well. Because it's not the child's fault, it's not the parent's fault. This is just an added level of need that they need support and resources in order to be able to meet those milestones and, have those experiences and just the joy that comes with life and everything, in order to just be able to have what every other child also gets. And so that's why it's extra important for children with disabilities. And for some parents, this can sometimes become a full-time job for them, for advocating for their children. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it becomes that they're educating people as well a lot.
Absolutely, because unfortunately there can be a lot of misunderstanding about disability in general, but people also not understanding why, for example, in a shopping centre, a child becomes overwhelmed by the noise and the bustling and all that sort of stuff, potentially people bumping into them, and they have a sensory overload, which to some people may look like a tantrum. But it's not a tantrum. It's not the parent's fault. It's not the child's fault. It's just something that this child is genuinely struggling with. And people walking by, giving the judgy eyes, giving the judgy comments, doesn't help. So yeah, a big part of it is education from these parents. And I've met with some amazing parents who are now just able to say to people, they have autism or they have sensory processing disorder or something, and to be able to say, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
We need to give them space to calm.
Yep.
We need to help them find a safe space again. So yeah, definitely being able, communicating to others is a big part of what they have to do. Yeah.
Advocacy is so important, and together with a great team, you can work towards a solution, and the team at Mission Australia would love to help you on this journey. So remember, any improvement or joy experienced by your child is because of your advocacy makes everything worthwhile. So if you need anything at all, go and see the team from Mission Australia. They'd love to help you.